What is the hardest, or better, the most gravitas to achieve? A sub-20 minute 5k run or a 100 kilo bench press? Welcome back to the channel. I am Coach Tom Hall, Master Degree Sports Performance. I train coaches to do amazing things in my coaches group. So you can be in there if you want to. Enjoy my content. But you can probably see by the title that what the hell this is about. And I'm going to talk from my client's perspective, and we're going to ask Gemini today. Mainly because I've got the pro version, and that would probably be a bit more fun, wouldn't it? So, and we can kind of have a little look at the session plans, but we'll do a YouTube Asks AI way down the road in terms of what these session plans can look like, right? So that question, what is the hardest, or better, the most gravitas to achieve? A sub-20 minute 5k run or a 100 kilo bench press? Either of those. Now you can make your decision right there. I will tell you at the end what I think is the harder thing to do, and we'll try and explain what, why, how, what's happening throughout these, right? Okay, so let's break down what you kind of need to be able to do this one, the 100 kilo bench. Genetically, you're gonna have a predisposition to a certain amount of strength, a certain amount of like sarcomeres, a certain amount of kind of muscle tissue that is in essentially strength or whatever, type 2-1, type 2A, type 1, all these different fiber types. There is more powerful, stronger, better for endurance, all this kind of stuff. You have a predisposition for that. But that's probably more towards the 5k thing. I know that working pretty hard to do a 100 kilo bench you will eventually get there. It takes a while. I remember me, anecdotally, it took me ages. And then once I hit 100 kilos, it's all in my brain, I hit 100 kilos for free, which I shouldn't be able to do, according to either VBT or Dan Baker's scale or all those exertion scales that we know. So that ended up being like, oh, I actually have a 1RM of 105 or 107, which was like, oh, okay. I don't know how that's happened, but yeah, I had to go away. Generally speaking, with anything like a 100 kilo bench press, it is a kind of a standard to get to. It's the whole kind of 2 plates on, being able to pause, go, bang. Here's a video of me doing it pretty comfortably, and being able to go through that process of learning to get there. But what we do have is the caveat is mass moves mass. We're talking from a male perspective here. Females, it will be a bit harder because not all females who generally can do a 100 kilo bench probably can't do the sub 25k run. I'm going to be honest, you're going to have to elevate or kind of change the scales on these two. Okay, so this is for males. Mass move mass. In the video there, that's an 82 kilo powerlift, so I have to be under 83. I think I weighed in at like 81 kilos. 80 kilos, that's like 1.2. like 1.3 times your body weight, pretty kind of normal goal to get to, but 1.1 is probably you're a decently strong human being, okay? Which is, I'd say, pretty attainable for most, and it is a strength game, kind of a strength endurance game of just getting in there and going and training for it, right? So now flip it over to the 5k, under 20 minutes. This is where the predisposition lies for you as an athlete, and whether you've got elastin capabilities in your muscle, right, in your tendons. If you've trained for any of that kind of elastin and muscle fitness, tendon fitness before, that's a big portion of this. If you've got a decent anaerobic system, a lactate system, where you're able to get rid of kind of lactate in your blood and all these kind of bad stuff that's going to stop you in your blood and your muscles as you run. Because remember, it's 20 minutes, it's taken a while. Right? That bench press is taking 3 seconds, or probably a nice controlled eccentric, boom, go. It's taken no time at all. It's all ATP. That's the only system you kind of need to work and get kind of dense myofibrillar wise. Whereas this one, you've got a lot more stuff that's happening. So we're going to make sure your calves are to maintain, your legs are taking that load, your Achilles tendon and your kind of ankle foot complex can take from 5 to 13 times your body weight through that joint, right? That's a lot of load. So we've got all those kind of capabilities of transferring kind of kinetic energy and elastic energy going through your tendon. And like we said, the aerobic system has to be pretty nails. It's 85 to 90% aerobic, and then the last 10% is anaerobic. So those two systems are working pretty hard. There's more stuff that's happening with it. And we can all think back to when we were younger, and I'm pretty sure the big strong lads were really good at bench press, and there's these little scrawny lads that were very quick at running, right? Let's ask Gemini. What is harder to attain? 100 kg bench press or a sub? The sub 20 minute 5K is significantly harder to attain for the average male. As a percent, right, let's go through this, right? So the comparison at glance. Effort level, intermediate gym bro is standard, kind of your advanced competitive average, 100%. So high VO2, max, and lactate threshold. Like what we said, aerobic capacity needs to be through the roof, and we need to have decent lactate in it. Strength and mass. Cool, that's all it is. Wow, I didn't even really consider that. Training volume, 5 to 10 plus hours a week, 3 to 5 hours per week. Definitely, okay? You need more time to commit to a 5K run than the average person. 10 to 15% of gym goers from an average male, compared to 1 to 3% of local race finishers. It is tenfold harder in terms of trying to get there. So just the data itself is absolutely damning. Cool. So why? So the engine problem, like we said. So you need to maintain under 4 minutes K, like it's tough. Running a 6:26 mile by itself without you really knowing how to run very well is tough. It isn't just jogging fast. The engine problem, to run this fast, your VO2 max typically needs to be north of 50, so which is about 53 BA. For an average sedentary male, that's a massive jump from the baseline of 35 to 40, which is a big baseline. Just put that in perspective. I can just about do that, but I can bench 100 kilos always. That's just, it's happened since I was 22. Okay, the sub 20, I'm completely fast twitch. I used to have a sub 1100 meter sprint, so I was a lot more geared towards that. I can guarantee you ask Usain Bolt to train for running a sub 5 minute, because his capability to be able to put elastic force into the floor is wondrous. Okay, he can put a lot of force through there, so he'd be able to get there over a short amount of time of training than the average male. But aerobically, he's gonna be fucking shot to pieces, absolutely gone. So this is where that engine problem, massive jump. The weight reality, physics is cruel. Mass moves mass, guys. Extra muscle will help the bench press, whereas like a sub 20 is exponentially harder. Okay, and inversely, if you're tiny and you can run the sub minute 20 5K, whatever, I'd imagine the majority of people who can run the under 20 cannot do the 100 kilo bench. I'll put it out there. I can pretty much guarantee that, okay? I think there are more that way, but yeah, it'd be interesting. Cool. And injury risk. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot more stuff that's happening in terms of skill related things in running than in the bench press, okay? It's not much is really happening. There's lots of force generation things, obviously pushing into the ground, you've got ground reaction force, all those kind of stuff that you can kind of push and make it more beneficial. But like, as long as if you're floor pressing, you're working your triceps, you work on your lats, you work on kind of your anterior delt, and you work on your pecs and your chest, you'll eventually get there. You just will. So the average male weighing 80 to 90 kilos, 100 kilos is only 1.1 to 1.25 times body weight. Mass moves mass. Most men can reach the 100 kilo by surplus, starting strength 531. Okay, so put it in perspective, I got there doing the 531. Okay, go follow Jim Wendler, this guy, and go do that kind of stuff. So absolutely fine. Eventually get there, and it just takes time. It takes methodology. It's all it is. You can get there. So relatively quickly, I'd say 12 to 24 months. Cool. Yeah. I'd say so. Probably took me around there. So once I actually started benching, because I couldn't bother. My limbs are very long. So yeah, that's nice and interesting, isn't it? Yeah, then verdict, the 100 kilo bench is a milestone of consistency. But sub 25 is a milestone of capacity. Yeah, nice. I'd agree. I'd 100% agree. That is definitely harder. So I think without further ado, I need to denounce that I can clearly do my 100 kilo bench. Here's me doing it not that long ago as well. I need to go do that sub 20 minute 5K, because I can't do that yet. So I decree from this day forwards, you will hear from me talking about that training plan of some sort, and I will write it for you, and you will be able to follow that 90 kilo guy, hits bombs at golf, has done Ironmans, done whatever it needs to be done. I want to be in that 1%. Be reviewing what it says there to build that 5K plan. I will be able to critique it first, and I will let you know how it goes. If you're watching this video and you think you would like to run a better 5K, or you're a coach and you have a bunch of clients that are starting to do that, I actually have something that's coming out very, very soon. So make sure you get on my email list, make sure you download anything that I've got, and there will be a training plan that you can follow, that you and your clients can learn to do, so you're in the best place possible as a coach to get your clients and your guys and girls better positioned to run their park run PRs all summer. So if you've got any questions about that, comment down below. I will send you the link to do it. Go download it, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll probably critique what's going on at some point. And I'll be running a sub 20 minute 5K at some point. All right, see you in the next video.